back to more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last time we left off, we started the second chapter, and now we're going to do the first trial. So I think I'm going to do both trials in this episode, if they're not too long. Well, I've already made my decision, so I can't really change it now, but yeah, this might end up being a super long video, and it might not even be going up the day I want it to, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Huh, Mr. Wright's not here today? Oh, I'm sort of over my cold now, so hopefully my voice will sound a little bit better. They were really bad last episode. I'm very sorry. He said his old foot injury was acting up. Oh, I can't read today. Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine, as long as you're there, Trucy. Yes, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes Justice. I started my voice training at 5 this morning. Ooh, do some now. I want to see. Here. Huh? Oh, okay. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine! Just yelling. That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training. I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, good morning. Yo, sup? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Not really. Walkie, don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between you and me, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. Yo, that straight up looks like a Naruto face. Don't even at me. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like they've both been voice training too, Apollo. My worst fears realized. The trial's starting and I still haven't had a real talk with my client. Well, this is gonna go super well. Oh, who's the prosecutor gonna be? I'm trying to think. Who could it be? Who could it be? I can't think of anybody. Who is it? Who? Oh no! No, it's I forget what his first name is. Oh, it has in here. It's Clavier. Oh crap. Oh, I don't want to fight him. Court is now in session for the trial of walkie-talkie. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready to rock and roll there, Judge. Ah, it's him, the pry guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor? It's Mr. Gavin's brother. Oh, he knows me. He knows me. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence? You know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we got real popular. Hard to say 9 to your fans when 3 of your singles go platinum, yeah? Oh. So he's like a bit of a... It's hard to say... Make me change my voice now, god dang it. I see, to be honest, I was a little concerned. Feared that you might be distraught over that one trial. Oh, I see. Not to worry, I'll judge. That's a French voice. Not to worry, I'll judge. I can't do this, okay? Guys, I'm just gonna pretend that he doesn't have the accent because I don't want to butcher the accent. So, yeah, I'll just do my Kristoff. But he's a different character. It's not fair. I wouldn't miss this day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Oh my God, he's talking about me. It was worth canceling a show or two. Understood. You may give your opening statements at the court. Before that, I was thinking, is the air in this courtroom not a bit serious? It is a court of law. That's no way to get the crowd jumping out, Judge. God, it keeps going back to the French, and I hate it, but we're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom. Axe tongue, baby. Today we play it my way. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get up. You get on up in order to get down to prosecuting. This is crazy. The victim, I can say Maractus. I don't know why I can't say that word. Director of the Maractus Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand. What in the world was a doctor doing pulling a noodle stand? Yes, I believe you will only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now, because it is an undeniable truth that he shot the victim. What do you mean, undeniable? You are to glare at anyone out, Justice. Glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed and quite clearly, you see. Witnessed. Very well. Please admit this witness to the court. I'm soloing in my head. 9. Not yet. First, there's a little matter to be cleaned up. Could you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see the guitar for a second. You're not helping, Trucy.
What is it, Prosecutor Gavin? I like this guy.
The motive, our judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of Maractus Clinic? Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain what happened. Oh, but what if the defendant specifically requests to do so? And he did this morning. I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said.
What?
What is right? They always say that on stage you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he's got you pretty good, huh, Polly? Shut up. I'm fine. I'm fine. My name's Fine. I mean, shut up.
Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive for the crime.
God dang it. Oh, you suck, whatever your name is. I don't even know your name and you're my own client. Walkie, that's her name. Walkie Kataki.
So, you, son of the defendant, Walkie are you? Wait. Oh, you, son, are the... I'm sorry.
I ain't your son, old man. You step to a Kataki, you best be prepared to step strong.
This is already a different place.
You step to a public official, you'd best be prepared to step in jail. Gotta hand it to him, Walkie sure has guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about.
Well then, the court will now hear testimony on the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself.
Hey! Yeah, maybe we'll give him like this voice. I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in the clinic about a half a year ago. He messed up my op something bad.
Oh my god, was that another typo? I skipped past it, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say I read that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was supposed to say up. That's like the second one. Are you kidding me? And just in this game, like, oh my god. I know that seems like a silly thing, but it's kind of ridiculous. Considering the first two games had no typos, like, are you serious? Wow, okay.
And then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in and get another doc to patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his pad that night. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see, but that's not correct. You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real in the street. True dead. I'll tell you one thing, that doc was whack.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all this. I can. Alright, look, you're not telling the truth, and I gotta prove that to the judge. So, here's what I'm gonna do, to speak in your language. I'm gonna go to your final statement, press you a bit harder, and then say, no. You went to his pad? Did you have an appointment to meet with the victim? In the park, perhaps? You out of your mind? Who makes an appointment to get the drop on someone? I came ready to fight my way into that clinic of his. Shortest way to the clinic from my place is through the park, know what I'm saying? He's right, that does seem to be the shortest path. There I was, cold walking through the park. When he comes popping up out of nowhere right before my eyes. I think it's someone up on high was looking out for me, know what I'm saying? Oh, this sounds bad right from the get-go. Well, there won't be any get-go if we don't get some more information. Right, first gather the facts. Time enough for despair later. First of all, the word you're looking for is quack. And isn't that a little harsh? He's your family doctor. Who asked you, Portylocks? Just who do you think you are? Your lawyer? Look, I ain't trying to hear that. He was a quacker, plain and simple.
This voice is deteriorating.
By someone, you mean, was there anyone with a score to settle with this doctor? Besides you, I mean. Better ask somebody else, Holmes. What do I care? I made up my own mind and did what had to be done, straight gangsta style.
But why are you so mad at this doctor? Yo, sit back and listen while I drop it, J-Man.
I actually love this guy now. No, it was red. That was my bad.
So, you were a patient at the Maractus clinics half a year ago? For what reason? And what you might call a mark of honor. Can you explain precisely what was wrong? We had a little run-in with the Rivales family. That's when I pulled a Jack move. And ran into an ambush. He busted a cap right in me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time. By yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys.
So you were carried to the Maractus clinic from there?
Apparently, he was shot in the heart. And you're to blame? Oh, and he's still alive? I can catch bullets between my teeth, but I never learned how to catch them with my heart. Bullets stop just sort of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you say, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it, Holmes. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad.
It sounds as though a doctor wished to hide his mistake. This is why he let defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. He's a badder G than me. So this bullet is still... You know it! I can still feel it, right there on my chest, pressing up against my heart. Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Something to that effect? Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles.
Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice.
Word, J-Man! We're no accident! That's for shizzle!
It seems that there were issues with this doctor.
Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Walkie, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Chin up, Apollo, back straight.
But why did this mistake only come to light that day?
It was found during the family health checkup. The family health checkup? That was the wackiest thing of all. All us G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than to fade away, bizoy.
It's better to burn than to fade away, but whatever.
A relief to hear. Huh? What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes, our Dr. Maractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life. No way. That's whacked. There is proof. Your checkup reports. You didn't hand this into the court earlier because...
Results from checkup. 19, male, June 14, metallic object, urgent exam needed. I don't know how that proves it.
How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Well, now that the place is hopping, let's get this gig started.
Started?
We've had enough of a warm-up, yeah? Time to hear from the witness. Walkie sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy?
Why, I don't know what to give you as a voice. Well, maybe I'll give him this voice. This isn't a voice I've ever used before, but it seems like an appropriate voice.
So, you will tell us your name and occupation.
Oh. I don't know what gender this is. My name is Wesley Stickler. Weasley Stickler? I don't know. By occupation, I take it profits a society at large as moral livelihood, under which definition I must confess to being unemployed. However, we must acknowledge the meaning of identity, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation. And once we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not Gestalt per se, but derives from the vagueness inherent of all representations of the... By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not French, but I like saying that. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineers. Oh, I'm becoming Larry. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in pursuit of truth, honing my...
Herr Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. God, Gavin, you keep switching between French and Spanish. Make up your mind.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. Ah, yes. You asked quite simplistically what I saw. However, we must understand that Homo sapiens possess 2 eyes. These designed to receive and interpret data, sending... Oh my god. I don't know if this voice fits him, but whatever. That night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I feel like I've actually used this voice now that I think about it. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the defendant was the victim. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead.
Was there anyone else in the park at that time?
I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not. The pistol our witness refers to is this.
The court accepts this in evidence. Boom. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. Let's check this gun real quick. Weapons left at the crime scene. 2 rounds were fired. Fingerprints were wiped.
Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Well, I don't know, so... whatever. Oh, thanks, Apollo. You're so much help.
Oh! Okay. Okay, so we're saying it wasn't square in the forehead, then it's from the right, so that doesn't make...
Oh, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you relaxing, I see, Justice? Huh? Oh, objection!
Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Apollo, pace yourself. Trial's not over yet. Right. Look at this.
The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report?
Right, a problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the entry wound.
The location?
You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I've already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simple, really. First, understand that when I say square, I speak not of geometrical absolute. What I mean by this, for example, the deflection of a meter is blah blah blah. The wavelength of the light emitted by a krypton particle, as we all know. In addition, it is a well-known fact that krypton particles are rare and invisible to the naked eye, which points to a basic fallacy in your line of reasoning, namely that...
Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Was your objection to these, krypton particle things?
This is the big time, and you are obsessed with something so small, you disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here.
Do tell.
Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple. Temple? Mr. Stickler, he said quite clearly the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it?
Man, this new DA sucks.
It is, right? Finally! Herr Justice, oh, Herr Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated, trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to the testimony. Yuck. Hey, our forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see 2 men facing each other, one with the pistol trained on the other. What would you do, our forehead? Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout, stop! And you, Fraulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream, eek! And you, Al Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? Ah! If the victim turned his head at the last moment... Ah, yes, thank you for jogging my memory.
Well, it sounds like an addendum to the testimony is required. Oh, okay, we're doing a whole new testimony, okay.
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Seize this at once, you two! I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
Except that's incorrect. I see. So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure. Maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would.
The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking at in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired just at that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Ivy's Diversity Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness. I apologize that I'm not being able to do basic reading, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Today I just can't, okay? So I think the thing is, he threw the gun away, yet there's no prints on the gun because they were wiped away. So unless somebody else did it, then I don't think this is correct. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and I might be. Yeah, I got it! Wow, I'm really good this trial.
Wait a second. Another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that? A single second? 1/16th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. That you would ask for a long period of time, say 3 minutes to...
Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor?
I want to understand you are objecting to the length of a second.
Yes, I mean, no. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. A common ploy made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
Oh!
The little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little. Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein? Eh? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice?
Could the killer have been wearing gloves? No way, because the knife. The record on the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol. That may be, but that does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And his pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds so to me. Well, Herr Forehead, any of your precious objections? What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away. You're right. He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. Well, that is indeed true that once in my youth, seized by the teacher and posted on the block, this is upon poem may be free to...
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else. Oh, come on. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Can't really say a "th" with that voice. I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else? What did the killer throw before fleeing the scene?
It would be the knife, Your Honor, except I'm gonna save just in case it's not.
Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movies last night.
Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Indeed.
Oil forehead? You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Wakikataki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh!
Indeed.
Never underestimated Gavin as the lesson here.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
Ahem. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
Ah, that was a good one.
Except not that good.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. The testimony earlier not proved the defendant's presence at the scene. And do we not also know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we now have a killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
I'd better find a way to take this testimony down quick.
I think we can catch him up on the time. We'll be like, hey, what time was it when you called the police? And he'll be like, oh, I don't know, it was 7:20. And we'll be like,
but he died at 10:15.
It's not, I don't know. Maybe I'll say it's like, it's at 10:30. Wait, go back.
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism. Perfect. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's going to cry.
You have something to say, Trucy? Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park.
So we just stood there, watching? Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means, say it. This witness is way too self-assured. There's gotta be a weakness somewhere in this testimony.
This is seeming to me like I press everything and eventually Trucy would be like,
wait, which way did the killer run? By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kataki mansion. Tongue, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight. How do you know that's where I was going? God dang it, Trucy, just say it! You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor. Ooh, cool answer. Cool answer. Very cool. I forgot my voice for a second. So nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, dear forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit? There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all.
There are no objections to the witness's current testimony.
There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, these fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. No! Trucy, you're not gonna speak up for the love of God?
Seems we've come to the end of the line here.
No, that can't be all.
Wait, seriously? Oh no!
How unfortunate. It seems you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me, were you, our forehead?
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Walkie-Kataki. Okay. Finally! God, Trucy, took you long enough. What?
Trucy?
Nobody move! What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Katakis?
The Katakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to the pressure from the likes of...
Now, Judge, I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman.
Recess. 20 minutes, or I promise you, you'll regret it.
Was it the dad? Wait! How'd he disappear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Leaf, catch that mysterious man! Okay, well, we're only 32 minutes into this, so we're definitely continuing the trial. Wow, I can't believe that passes off as a part 1. But, wow, this trial is pretty fun so far, actually. I still have no idea who the killer is, but whatever. I don't think we're gonna figure that out today anyway, so I guess we'll see.
Trucy! Trucy? You move quick, Apollo.
Oh. It's a female, is it?
You move quick. You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show.
Oh, no, it was her. God dang it.
Good show, good show.
I don't know. I thought it was the other one. Never mind.
Trucy, you're okay.
I thought... Aw.
Don't cry, Apollo. Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo, or else... What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat.
You look marvelous, darling.
He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit, ha ha ha.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you... Trucy, there's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo, now's not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more stage abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling. Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction? Well, I think I remember them, sure. There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time, there was a contradiction.
In his hand he held...
Yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol, but it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling a stand. Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense, and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker? What? That's what he sees in people? I always sat next to him during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? It's not cheating, officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. He's quite good at poker after all. But not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated, but what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm gonna lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any way out. I can't think of any other way out of this, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? Huh, Mr. Wright's not here today? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yeah, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it. Apollo! You know, I'm starting to think I can do this. I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast, and boy, are my arms tired.
Right. Maybe you shouldn't have done that in the first place.
God, he looks like Judge Frollo from the back. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin. Court is now back in session.
Right, we're fine.
I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, you mean me?
Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat?
Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that.
You settled that?
Yes, it was an out-of-court settlement. Right. Perhaps Rolene would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't, am I right? I think he's on to me. I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matters. What are your plans for our gifted witness? Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something.
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant you your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time.
Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
From shot to call.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. I'm not sure I qualify to watch testimonies after all. Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot. Focus. If only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have?
The sixth sense that I had at the beginning of the game, apparently. Oh, here it is.
What's this? My bracelet?
Oh, what?
What? That's what it is? My bracelet's... What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. Hank Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet's trying to tell me something.
Hey, it's Phoenix Wright. I'm in your bracelet. How's it going, dude? Can you imagine if that was it? It's the ghost of Phoenix Wright. He's been dead this entire time.
So, you called immediately after witnessing the murder. The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit?
You're gonna flash back to the thing you showed me 2 minutes ago? Really?
The only time you even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet? I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you're talking about, Trucy, but I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Just need to touch my bracelet as it reacts to the testimony.
Oh, the all-seeing eye!
What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly. It's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy, what's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch, his habit. You remember it, right? Sure. When he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with the pages of his book. Got it. Right now, you're looking in the witness's face, and your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. First, move your focus of attention to Mr. Stickler's hand. His hand? You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right. I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint.
minute. There it is.
Perfect. Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive. I like this feature. It's really cool. Try talking to the witness as you focus, then watch for his habit. Right. You mean when he fiddles with a page? That's right. That's your signal to look closer, to perceive. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. Don't worry if you miss it. You can always try again. Right. Look out, nervous twitch. Here comes justice.
Gotcha! Nice! Okay, I get it.
I saw it just now. I could see it.
Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? All this banging of desks, it's quite bad for my circulation, you know?
Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? That's for his number. Has to see his phone. Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone.
Why? Whatever for?
Show me, and you'll find out.
Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it?
Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone?
Yeah, where did you get that?
That's the phone from yesterday.
I thought so.
Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. The car moved, it'd be crushed for sure. Wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment?
Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this?
His cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage.
The Maractus? Why, that's where the victim lived.
Yeah, that's impossible. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all.
Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to indicate it with a statingly high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie?
There can only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone because it was found in the victim's garage.
What are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all.
Oh, snap. Also, this track playing right now is awesome. But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I were trying to kill him. Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night. Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true, I lost my cell phone, but you can't prove that I lost it that night. Well, Mr. Justice, that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder. It does raise considerable suspicions as to a connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to crime. Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder?
I mean, yes, but I don't know what yet. Oh, yes, I do, actually.
Of course I have evidence. Oh, I like your swagger, our forehead. Hit it.
Court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say.
The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is...
I'm gonna save slot 2 for once. That's a side view mirror?
As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Here, go, Mr. Stickler. The only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder in the park. He's the undergarments thief, isn't he? That's what his crime is. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? You did break into the victim's garage that night. Or maybe not, I don't know. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus? No, stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor, say something! I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor! I know that face. That's the face of guilt.
Witness testimony.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on the way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, in the stand. All clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Yes, well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It is quite a pain when I drop it alongside the roll, you know?
Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, cross-examination, please.
That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around. Right, no problem. I hope. Here comes justice.
I like his little pep talks. They're fun.
This part of the testimony is the key, I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand?
The noodle stand seems weird, so I'm gonna...
Do you happen to remember the noodle stand? Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said... Noodle. Yes, that was it.
Remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice?
What about that sign? Could that be important? So the sign on the noodle stand said noodle? It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample this wares one of these days. The wares, my bad. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for the taste of our smosh noodles. I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. Trust me, dude, I don't think this place's noodles are actually that good. I think it's just popular. You know, it's like McDonald's. It doesn't taste that good, but everybody loves it, so you just kind of have to love it too. Got him. And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle? Why, just last week, my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It read, without a doubt, noodle. I see. Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes? Let's take a look at our map, shall we? So you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing here, was it? Although, it would have been a bit hard to see the sign from this spot. You think so? Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. El Dune. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. El Dunes. Hell, inconceivable! I'm certain it was definitely noodle, for sure, positive!
I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight.
I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign you saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle. What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would read the way Mr. Stickler claims? What?
Mr. Justice, show us this spot.
The witness actually viewed the stand from this location. The witness was standing here, on the opposite side.
That's what I thought. How do you know that?
When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads El Dunes, as we know. However, Oh! Observe the other side of the stand. Oh, the side says noodle. Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back sides. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
Yo! You got me!
So what? So what? What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or the south side? It makes no difference at all.
He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Trucy, remember his testimony from before. Though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment the killer raises his weapons, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point, the victim turns his head to look. And the killer fires his... Oh! It would hit the wrong side. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right, but if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario.
I didn't even think of that, holy crap.
Completely! Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now. The victim looks in his direction and gets shot in the left temple.
Boom!
The bullet would have to hit his left temple. Ah! In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible.
That's right.
So, now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning. Indeed, you're absolutely correct, Fraulein.
What meaning?
The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north.
North. Ah! Well, that is where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing.
Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Yo! Order! Order! Order!
Wow, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. She's flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out. Clarify one point for me if you would, our forehead. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer.
No, please, look aside, I'm a really nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say.
What are you gonna do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler?
Accuse of another crime. That's what I was looking for, because I don't think he murdered.
I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why, now.
The word confession isn't in my dictionary.
Tisk, 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 forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate?
I don't know why I don't know that word. My bad.
Elucidate our Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now for a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears.
I know he's guilty of something, but what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows an involvement in some other way?
Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime. Well, it's gonna be awkward, but this.
The evidence is this.
What is that? Woman's underwear?
Hey, those are mine.
Don't look at me like that! Order! 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 Mr. Stickler. Well, I can't say this comes as a shock. Is that what it seems? By Pythagorean's theorem?
On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches him red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place than the Maractus Clinic garage. Aha! Incidentally, these were found in the exhaust pipe of a car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of in the first degree.
Please, hear me out. It's not what it looks like. Order, order, order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. It's not what it seems. Okay, so are we to understand that you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft? Perhaps you're not aware that my school's name was originally written IV. I stands for intelligent, V stands for valiant, see? Your point? I'm not done. Now, I'm a major in the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? Yes, we of the IVU science department are valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge? Science and mystery. Sorry.
Come on.
No, you do not understand. Mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, those are the promised land. From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate. For science, full-size car tire was only the first mystery those things revealed.
A tire?
Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of them. But that's not all. First there was a tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken. One mystery after another. It was magic.
Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar.
Huh?
He's talking about the magic trick.
I just don't understand. A broom? It mocks the very laws of physics.
A broom and a frozen chicken, Trucy? Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits?
Mr. Stickler, you stole this to understand a magic trick? They're so much more than that. For me, they're an object for serious study.
I wonder.
There has been the recent rash in the area. Were they all you? I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied, I thought maybe this would be the pair that would elucidate. Even in the night she chased me through the streets, I wept tears of joy. Perhaps this is the night that I will see the truth that lies within. Yet woe I was, for once again, the lacy. Okay. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained.
Ah, you refer to a witness's other lie, yes? The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but was in fact in the north.
Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why you lied about that?
Be my guest, dear forehead.
Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder?
Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea? Apollo, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a...
Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location? These.
The evidence that shows why he lied is this.
What? More?
How many are you carrying in your pocket, dear forehead?
These are the last, honest.
These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't.
Alas, I am a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe.
So, these are your handiwork as well?
That night I'd been chased, hounded into the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while. Then, abandoning them, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion. A giant
Excuse me. Apparently you didn't know that they belonged to the mob.
I had them, safe in my pockets, ready to take home.
when I stumbled upon a murder. The murder of Dr. Maractus. I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me? That's when you disposed of the bloomers? Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne.
A fascinating, if disturbing tale. I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial.
One last thing, if I might.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin?
Regardless of where we ended up today, some vital points were made. Namely, the defendant, Walkie-Talkie, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Walkie-Talkie has a clear motive.
Indeed. The defendant, Walkie-Talkie, is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else at the scene at the time. Yet a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple is yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation from both the defense and the prosecution.
Yeah, baby. No problem.
Very well. This brings the trial for today to a close. Court is adjourned. Whew! That ended up not being as long as I thought it would be, but that's completely fine. Now I get to have this episode out the day I wanted it to, so whatever. Wow, well that was a lot happened that episode. Holy crap! But I really like this new feature of, like, you know, focusing in on stuff. Like, I think that's a very creative idea, and I'm excited to see where it goes with it. Because I feel like the thing about Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations, they never really added anything big to the actual court scenes. They were kind of the same as the last game, besides using profiles instead of evidence sometimes. But you wouldn't do that very often. So I like the fact that we're trying something new. I kind of miss the Megatama. That was one of my favorite things that Justice for All introduced, but I'm sure I'll get over it soon enough, but I do miss it a tiny little bit. Maybe we'll get it later in the game, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up today's episode here. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. So we're going to see more of this awesome game. You guys seem to be liking this series a lot, which I'm excited about because I'm loving this game. So I will keep playing it until the end of October when I finish it, hopefully. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace out!